$40 billion. Built in 5 years, gone in 5 weeks. This is not a story about greed. It's a story about something far more frightening. How intelligent people convince themselves that an illusion is real. Ambient sound, busy trading floor, ticking clock, then silence. $40 billion. Say it slowly. $40 billion. That's more than the GDP of some nations. More than what most companies earn in a decade. It's a number so large, so real, that it practically has weight to it. And yet, it wasn't real at all. Music swells, low, ominous drone. This is the story of how $40 billion was built, and how it vanished, not stolen, not lost in a crash, simply revealed to have never truly existed in the first place. Every illusion starts with a believer. In the world of high finance and Silicon Valley optimism, belief is the product. Investors don't just fund companies, they fund narratives. And for years, this particular narrative was intoxicating. The pitch was simple, a revolutionary idea, a charismatic founder, a market ready to explode. The numbers climbed, the valuations soared, the press wrote glowing profiles, and nobody, not the analysts, not the auditors, not the venture capitalists with billions on the line, asked the one question that mattered: is any of this actually real? Here's what makes a $40 billion illusion different from an ordinary scam. Ordinary scams are built on lies. This was built on assumptions. Assumptions that were never stress-tested. Projections that were never questioned. A story told so confidently, so repeatedly, that it became indistinguishable from fact. The revenue figures were real, just wildly misrepresented. The customers existed, but not at the scale being claimed. The technology worked, in demos under controlled conditions, never in the wild. This is how modern financial illusions operate. They're not black and white. They exist in the gray zone between optimism and deception, where everyone is technically telling the truth, and yet the truth itself is a lie. And the $40 billion, it lived in that gray zone for years. Every illusion has a moment when the light hits it wrong. For this one, it came quietly at first. A short seller's report, a whistleblower's email, a journalist who kept asking the same uncomfortable question. The company dismissed them. The investors doubled down. The PR machine went into overdrive. But the cracks were spreading. When the financials were finally examined, really examined, the gap between the story and reality wasn't a rounding error. It wasn't a bad quarter. It was a chasm. Billions in claimed value simply evaporated. Markets reacted, heads rolled, and the people who had shouted the loudest about the company's genius went very, very quiet. Here's the part the headlines missed. The founders walked away. The early investors had already cashed out. The executives took their bonuses and filed for new ventures. The ones left holding the bill, regular people, pension funds, retail investors who read the breathless articles and believed them, employees who took stock options instead of salaries, stock that was now worth nothing. This is the cruel arithmetic of a $40 billion illusion. The people who built it were insulated. The people who believed it were exposed. And that's not an accident. That's a feature. So what do we take from this? Not cynicism. Cynicism is easy. Cynicism is lazy. What we take is rigor, the discipline to ask uncomfortable questions when everyone around you is celebrating. The courage to say, I don't understand this well enough, and that's a problem. $40 billion didn't vanish because people were stupid. It vanished because smart people stopped being curious. The illusion was never in the numbers. Silence of everyone who should have known better and chose not to look. Final beat, black screen.